Hey friends, welcome to Magus of the Frog. We are jamming some more Merfolk Midrange here, and I've been tuning the list to bring to upcoming local RCQs that are happening in December. As much as I do enjoy digital convenience of Magic Arena, and I've been having a blast getting back into Magic, I don't want to forget my roots in paper Magic and the joy of competing in local RCQs. I have no big aspirations or anything, simply to improve my skills and maintain a relationship with the community I love. We've got some amazing players in the local RCQ scene here that really help sharpen my skills when I play against them. I love that starting this YouTube project has really helped me focus on improving my gameplay by recording and commenting on my own games. And also, I've been learning so much about building our own decks and play testing it and piloting it to some success. So before I go through some minor card changes we made, I wanted to share some deck statistics on the performance of Merfolk Midrange, and I can't believe I'm only learning about Untap.gg, a companion app you can download that helps track your games and gives you valuable matchup data. As you can see here, we've been quite busy playing the deck with close to 30 hours over 100 plus games, and we have a positive win rate here of 57%. Some of our strongest matchups have been the Demir variants or the Boros aggro and Golgari midrange variants. We are also doing quite well against mono white control, mono black control, but need a lot of help playing against Azorius Tempo and the fastest iterations of mono red. So we're going to try and get better at our matchups there. If I scroll down here, a lot of these multicolored things that you'll see are domain variants or the Teamer Otter Powers list, and of course you'll also run into some rogue decks and some brews as well. So that's been really fun. So back to the deck here. Really, the changes are minor. We went -1 Vivian Reed from 3 to 2. We took out an island. We're still playing 24 lands. I think 24 is totally fine. And brought in 2 Enduring Curiosity. And we removed 2 of our shore ups that we were using as early interaction and playing Eaten by Piranhas instead. I think this is just such a versatile card. And a lot of the time, the shore ups that are in my hand, I could really do away with not having it. But the Eaten by Piranhas has saved me against so many games, again, just some problematic creatures game 1. So that's really the major changes that we're doing to the main deck here. In terms of the sideboard, we took out the third Pick Your Poison and we're playing the third Tranquil Throwback. Just a wonderful mid-range card here. The ability to gain life, exile their graveyard, or destroy an artifact or enchantment is all relevant in these mid-range games. We are playing Unsummoned still for the really fast decks, and instead of playing Flash Freeze, I've learned about this card, changed the equation. You can counter any spell with mana value 2 or less, or any red or green spell with mana value 2 or less, and that's more than enough to deal with any card that the red deck will have in their main deck. And then we're also playing 2 copies of River's Rebuke. I've been playing this against the permanent heavy matchups. Sometimes I'll bring this in against mid-range matchups, and I really think it is a sleeper card. It is also a pet card of mine, so take that with a grain of salt. But in my own personal testing, this River's Rebuke is really quite devastating when used against any board state. Really, it's just puts them on the behind so quickly. So let's just jam some more games here. I'm ready to record. I'm ready to see some more um, matchups. Hopefully, some that we could use more testing again. And just wanted to thank everybody for all of the support so far, all of the engagement. I really appreciate it. If you don't mind, leave a like or a comment in this video, a subscription as well if you feel so inclined. But otherwise, let's get started. Let's try out jamming some games here. I'll see you round 1. Okay, round 1 here. We are on the play. This hand is great if we can get to the 3 drop. We are on the play, so why not? Let's keep it. We're on the blind. We don't know what our opponent's playing. Loving the Garrick avatar and the sleeves here. Wonder what card this is. Looks like a black-green card. Okay, our opponent's back. We'll start off with Botanical Sanctum here. They have Llanowar Elves. Alright, we'll go Forest here, and we don't have a play, so we'll just pass. So Annex here. I don't think I need to keep up the Tidebinder. I think that will be good to do if they try and do the demon portion of the Annex. So let's just play our first copy of the Sentinel here. Likely gonna eat a removal since Golgari is very removal heavy. Oh, we're already starting with the Archfiend. So could really use something here to deal with that. Playing out the Oko won't really be good because they can kill it. We are trying to look for things that can tap down the Archfiend. So let's explore here. And we can either play... I think I'll keep up the Tidebinder here, just in case they activate the Ritual Chamber. We're gonna be taking 6 here. That's gonna be painful. We did call the Golgari gamer. Maybe it's the sleeves. I just got that vibe from them. And here we go. We're gonna counter this. And wonderful. We've got Eaten by Piranhas, so that's something that we can keep up. Let's go Cavern of Souls on Merfolk. And then we can play a 3-drop here, but I think I'm gonna go with Deeproot Pilgrimage. We'll create a map token. I'm gonna use the map token on the Tidebinder here. Get it out of cut down range if we can. And we'll keep a second Eaten by Piranhas. And we'll end the turn here. We're gonna wait until our opponent attacks with the draws to use our Eaten by Piranhas, and then block with the Sentinel here. Let's see if this works. One thing we can do is we can also block with our 1/1 Hexproof here, so that even if they have removal, we'll be able to block it fine. And they had removal after all. So we're going to be blocking here with our 1/1. And then let's see what their follow-up play is. Another Llanowar Elves. And maybe a removal spell. Oh, another Annex. That makes sense. They're going to be drawing here. They'll be losing life, but they can make a demon next turn, which we can Eaten by Piranhas. So what we're going to do here is, this is a perfect time to cast Oko. We're going to create an elf. We'll attack here, create a 1/1, and they're gonna likely take it, and then they're gonna make a demon so that they're gonna be able to gain life. They went for go for the throat here, and they're gonna activate the demon. That makes sense. Drain us for 4, draw 2 cards. Alright. So there are a couple things that we can do here. We can attack, have them block, and then we'll flash in eaten by piranhas. We can also plus Oko here, see if we can draw maybe something against these Annex here. Looks like Vivian Reed was a wonderful draw there. Let's put back 1 Sentinel and 1 Forest. We will be missing the land drop here. Let's play Vivian Reed and kill their flyer.
Go ahead and run. I can keep up. You have your fate. I have mine.
Oko's gonna turn into an Elk here, and we'll attack with our 3/3s. And pass the turn. So they're down to 6. We're down to 6. If they play another demon here, that'll be quite difficult for us to come back from. They'll be drawing 2 more cards and draining us for 4. But hopefully, this means that our planeswalkers survive. Here comes a Deep Cavern Bat, likely gonna take the eaten by piranhas. Ended up getting the boat, and looks like we're able to come back from that game. So against Golgari midrange, there's a lot of stuff that we can do here because we are on the draw. I like to bring in our early interaction just against their nutty draws, and then also sometimes bringing in Reverse Rebuke to deal with their late game board states. So let's think here. I am less keen on keeping the Sentinel and the 3 steps ahead here, given that we're going to be on the draw. And let's bring in 2 Pick Your Poison, 2 Patch Formations, and 2 Reverse Rebuke. Let's see what we got here. We got some early game interaction and some late game prowess. Let's send it. Alright, game 2 here. This looks like a perfectly keepable hand. We got turn 1 Scout and some early interaction. The Golgari deck is quite popular, and I know a lot of players in my local RCQ community pool are committing quite hard to Golgari. We are currently quite favored against them, or at least in my games, but the truth is it's not a cakewalk at all. You have to be really mindful of what the Golgari gamer's trying to do here. And it looks like they unfortunately mulled to 5, and this is something that I've noticed that Golgari players will do, that maybe this person is just testing their deck, but they're quite fast and loose with their mulligans. They took a late game card there. That's interesting. I thought they would take Eaten by Piranhas there, but let's start off with an Explore trigger here. Paw Patch Formation. I don't mind keeping that. Okay. We'll just get in for some more damage here. Our opponent's on the back foot. Yep, an Annex here means we can counter this, but I think we can use the Paw Patch formation instead. Oh, actually, I think I will counter this, because if they have a turn 4 draws, that's what I'd like to use the Paw Patch formation on. And it seems the multi-5 and the countering of their card draw engine here is enough to make our opponent concede. But nevertheless, even though that was much of a non-game for game 2 there, game 1 was great, and I always enjoy playing against Golgari gamers. They're a lot of fun to play with in the mid-range matchups. Let's go to the next round. Okay, round 2 here. We are on the play. This looks like a keepable hand here. We can keep up Hexcatcher and follow up with Pilgrimage or the Sentinel. Let's start off with a Forest. Looks like the red deck here. The red deck has been a bit difficult for us, especially their really fast draws. They're going to be attacking here, not much we can do. Game 1 is not always the best for us. They're probably going to develop their board here. Yep. Another option that they could have there was just to pump the Hired Claw, but they don't really know what we're playing, so. Alright. They had a removal spell, and what we're going to do here is we're going to play the Botanical Sanctum, and we're going to play out our 3-4. Now, despite our 3-4 being quite the chonker, the red deck has a lot of tools to deal with a 3-4 with a lot of their monstrous rage effects. And I will trade here. The Heartfire Hero is going to be even more dangerous the larger it grows. Eaten by Piranhas is good here, so we'll spend some time developing the board here. We'll do Deeproot Pilgrimage and then save the Eaten by Piranhas on maybe the Hired Claw or the Manifold Mouse, depending on what they choose to develop their board or just try and burn us out with. Okay, and just to get rid of the Hard Claw trigger here, we're going to cast Eaten by Piranhas. Make it a 1-1. We're going to be taking 3, and looks like we're getting a pump on the mouse. Okay, so an option here is to play Vivian Reed, but we'll just lose to the board here, so I think it's just best to play Soulstone Sanctuary, keep up a 4-4 blocker, and see if we can survive, but it's very unlikely. Alright. A Lightning Strike kills us here. This has Trample, so alright, let's go to game 2. And what I like to do against the red deck is to bring in unsummons, change the equation, and frillbacks. We'll get rid of our expensive spells, so Vivian Reed can go. Enduring Curiosity can also go. And then 3 steps ahead is not very good, in my opinion. So let's bring in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 1, 2, 3. So 9 cards here. Looks like we still have to cut 2 cards. And one thing that we can cut is we can take out the Deeproot Pilgrimage and not really rely on it. Another is to take out the Tishana Sidebinder, but this can be quite useful in countering, say, a Manifold Mouse activation. The Deeproot Pilgrimage here is really the first thing I'd cut. We'd lose on creating tokens, but yeah, we at least have some game against their really strong creatures. And then maybe one more card here. Let's just bring in a Curiosity. So that was a lot of sideboarding, but as you saw earlier in the deck tech, we have a lot of work to do against the red decks. We are in the play here. This looks like a keepable hand. We got turn 2 change the equation or Hexcatcher, and then a big chonker. So let's keep it. We'll start off with a tap land. Spare is okay there. I'd be more scared of the Hard Claw. So let's pass here. I'll likely counter another creature here, such as the Emberheart Challenger. They'll attack us for 1, and then we're gonna attack with we're gonna develop the board with the Sentinel here. Still could very well die to a removal spell or a monstrous rage, so I don't have high hopes for this Merfolk. And indeed, it looks like they are attacking here. We just gotta exhaust their crazy resources. Them spending spells to destroy our... Oh, okay. That wasn't a monstrous rage. That was actually a good trade for us because we traded Torch the Tower and Swift Spear for our 1 card here. So what we'll do is we'll play Merfolk here. We're gonna use the Drowner to possibly block the Heartfire hero here. And we'll have the Subterranean Schooner as well. Okay, so they are just gonna attack here. I think we are gonna use Drowner. Tempo them out of an attack. Okay. Medallion Hexcatcher is great there. Let's play it. We're going to use the Explore trigger on the Drowner here. Eaten by Piranhas is a great card. We'll crew the Hexcatcher. And let's go on the offense. And they're gonna take it, so we are gonna increase the damage just by adding in a Lord effect here. Here's a Swift Spear. And a Bolt Wave. We can sacrifice a Hexcatcher here to deal with that, but the Hexcatcher is keeping this as a 5/4, so... Okay, here comes the Eaten by Piranhas. We're going to do the same play here and animate this and attack. The Scout, I think, is something that we can put away. There's a lot of damage here. We're down to 11. Alright. Let's end the turn, keeping up Eaten by Piranhas here. Let's see. We can block the Emberheart Challenger here. Yeah, but they're dead on the swing back, so totally understandable. So now that we're on the draw here, looking at my notes here, I think this is perfectly fine. I think there's an argument to be made to maybe removing the Enduring Curiosity and putting in an earlier spell. But I think this is quite good already. Okay, this is unfortunate. We're gonna have to mulligan this. Very slow and only 1 land. 2 lands here. I think between the Sentinel or the Frillback, I'd rather keep the Frillback because it gains us 4 life. So, let's do that. And we're going to spend our early turns just tempoing them out here. So let's start with a Botanical Sanctum. And we're just going to unsummon it. We're going to use our mana efficiently here because turn 2, we're going to be using it for the Drowner. And it's really about stemming the bleeding from the red deck early. Okay. So here, we can tap down the Heartfire hero. Ooh, I will actually counter this. We'll only be taking 1, but they lose their double striker. And then we're gonna play the tap land here and keep up Drowner, and then next turn we can frill back plus gain life. I think they likely have a removal spell here. So let's tap down the Swift Spear and then threatening to block the Heartfire hero. And indeed, they have like something like a Burst Lightning or Torch the Tower. But we at least tap down the Swift Spear here and we only take 1. So we're gonna do the play here. Play the frill back, gain 4 life. And they still have a full hand here, so yep, something like Lightning Strike can clear their blocker, clear the blockers. Alright, this is quite scary. So, let's start off with a Scout here. I think this is a great draw because we can keep up our Schooner. And we'll just double Schooner here, use our mana efficiently, and offer some blockers. The good news is we are still at 17. Looks like they drew a land there, or they had a land in their hand. We're gonna use the crew in response. And here comes Screaming Nemesis. We will trade with whatever they offer here. And now we can't gain life for the rest of the game. And that's unfortunate because we drew a frill back. So let's just use this to exile their graveyard and destroy an enchantment. Let's go. Destroy enchantment and exile target player's graveyard, destroying their monster token and exiling their graveyard. Screaming Nemesis is really good there because we could have gained 4 life there, and that would have been awesome. Okay, so if they have Monstrous Rage, that makes this into 4 power, and this into 3. So, oh, any of these become 4 power actually. So we're gonna sacrifice our boat here, and if we're willing to put the Monstrous Rage on something, it would be on the Swift Spear. Oh, never mind. It's a Burst Lightning. So it looks like we're able to trade there. And this is great here. We get to go with our Vinestalk. And then we can take a gamble here and just put them on a lot of pressure to attack. We get an Explore trigger. We can make something a 3/3, but it's already a 3/4. I'm not too keen on keeping the frill back here. It doesn't gain us life. I mean, yes, it's a body, but already got quite in a good position here. They can still blow us out here, so... Oh, but they draw a land. Attack for 2. We're gonna do the same play here. But this time, I think, yeah, we're just gonna go with this again. Oh, and the Drowner is perfect there. That almost guarantees us to win next turn. And I don't think there's any draw here that they can get to bring us out of... to bring us to 10. And good games from our opponent. Ooh, that was a crazy one. I mean, I've been practicing the mono red a bunch with some friends, and they've been really teaching me how to go against the mono red decks here and what they're playing. Anyway, next one. Okay, round 3 here. I think this is a keepable hand. We don't know what our opponent's playing, but we've got some early plays here. Possibly the mono white deck. Ah, it's Domain. So, we're just gonna pass here. One thing we can do is also play the Schooner. I think we'll actually play the Schooner here. I think they're likely gonna play the Green Overlord next. Oh no, they miss a land drop. Okay, in that case, let's put some pressure. We'll start off with Sentinel here. Maybe if they have a Get Lost, we can take that out of their hand. And I'm okay to losing any of the permanents here. Oh no, okay. In that case, I think we just first use our Explore token here. And yep, I had a feeling they had another Get Lost, so we're gonna save our Sentinel here. We will be losing our Lord effect, but getting a land drop is great there. Oh, it looks like they unfortunately didn't draw into their third land, so a bit rough for our opponent. The Domain deck is quite strong, but they do need to get their land drop. So let's start with some Reverse Rebuke. I like to also bring our enchantment removals. So we've got Frillback. The ones that can deal with flyers are always good, given that they might be running Zur as well. And then the Drowners are okay against Domain from what I've seen. Sometimes they're really good, sometimes they're not. Eaten by Piranhas, I like. Any of our top end here, I also quite like. The other thing is maybe the Sentinel of the Nameless City is not as good as just playing the Frillbacks in that spot. Now, we have to cut 2 cards here, and what I like to do is I like to look at our land count. 16 is about as low as I really am comfortable going. So, 2 cards here. Maybe the 3 steps ahead. We are in the draw after all. We can keep one. Okay, this looks like a keepable hand. We got some things to combat a lot of the things that they can do enchantment-wise. So let's start with this, tap land, and then maybe play Pilgrimage here. Because they're playing up the Beanstalk, I'm just going to get rid of it here. Can't have them draw too many cards. That makes a lot of their cards just replace itself, so it's quite good. Here comes another Beanstalk. We do have the answer for it with the Frillback later, but for now, it looks like we're going to have to settle with just developing the board with Pilgrimage. And hopefully get some Merfolk here. Turn 4, we got Frillback, and then turn 5, we got Vivian Reed. Okay. So the option here is to get rid of the Overlord or the Beanstalk. I'm gonna go for the Beanstalk and then possibly use the Vivian Reed on the Overlord. It's not posing a threat right now. Autopay, destroy target artifact enchantment. Let's target their Beanstalk. Ooh, here comes the Overlord. Well, there's a couple things that we can do here. Drawing River's Rebuke might change the way I play this. Let's see. We can Eaten by Piranhas, the Overlord. We can... So, the play I really want to make is play Vivian Reed here, plus it, bring it to 6, chump block the Overlord. It'll take 4 down to 3, and then I follow up by Reverse Rebuke. But if they have any removal, which is very likely, we just lose our Vivian Reed. I think it's still worth trying. We need to dig for some answers here. Let's go with the Tishana's Tidebinder. And no attacks here. Okay, we're gonna lose our Frillback here. But they could very well have a Ley Line of the Binding and kill our Vivian Reed. Gets lost. Okay, so they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana, 7, 8. So they got 8 mana. If we Reverse Rebuke here, I mean, we can also just Eaten by Piranhas their Overlord here and have them commit more stuff. And then we'll Reverse Rebuke once the Overlord, the White Overlord, is out. Yeah. Let's see here. Okay. Let's see about just eating this Overlord here. And this is gonna work out well because now we can Reverse Rebuke and get back our Piranha. Oh, never mind. They've got... Okay. Well, we don't have any choice here. Let's play our tap land and Reverse Rebuke. And our Eaten by Piranhas will just go away here. So we are far from coming back to this game because they can just recast all their cards here. Curiosity. I mean, we can attack with the Vine Stalk, but I don't know if that's going to do a lot for us. Because they can just trade. Is this non-land? Okay, so this can't get our Vine Stalk. But we're so behind here because they can cast Zur and then attack for 6. So I think we'll just save some mental energy here and concede. Now that we're in the play, I feel much better about playing the Reverse Rebuke game. Let's see if we have any other changes we want to make. 3 steps ahead, I like better on the play. What we can do is also maybe Flood Pit's Drowner instead of the Eaten by Piranhas. But let's try this. Looks like we've got a decent enough game plan here. Okay, this looks like a keepable hand here. We'll be able to get the pilgrimage online quite early. And I always like that to apply pressure. They got a survey land here, which means we are in the clear for pilgrimage. Ooh, and a double pilgrimage draw. That's great. Alright, and they don't have enough to cast Leyline Binding here, so we're going to be getting away with another Deep Root Pilgrimage. But first, let's explore. And 3 steps ahead, I think we will keep. Alright, second Pilgrimage. Let's flood the board. So we're pumping out some dorks here, and we're able to keep up 3 steps ahead and Tidebinder. That's just going to be really good, even if they draw Sunfall. So let's put this on Merfolk. Here comes a Paw Patch formation, but we are fine losing that. We are already offering quite a bit of pressure here. And we'll just keep up our instants and our Tidebinder here. And yep, that was a very difficult position for them. If they draw something to wipe the board, we have 3 steps ahead. And, you know, even if they play the White Overlord there, we're just keep on swinging in with some expendable creatures here. So, yep, great game. Love playing against Domain. Our game 1 against them is not as good, but our sideboarded games often go well. Alright, next game. Okay, round 4 here, but I don't know about this hand. We do have the Scout to explore, but we don't have any colored sources for our 3 steps ahead and the Oko. So that's a mulligan. Okay, this one is not as good still, but we at least can cast our Merfolk. Let's keep this. Do we hedge our bets and keep the pilgrimage? Maybe not. Alright, let's go. Cavern of Souls on Merfolk. Green-white, possible Domain deck again. Which... Ooh, no, third land there. Starting to get nervous. Looks like they got Devout Decree. This is going to be good against our Planeswalkers. Let's see, ban. Yeah, let's play Hexcatcher here. Oh, this is unfortunate. We didn't draw a third land here. So, let's end the turn. And next turns are really when we need to start getting some action here. Okay, that's better. I could have played the Flood Pits Drowner there, but we're behind, so I'm gonna try and get as much value as I can from our creatures. I think this is totally fine. Authority is not really an issue for us. Okay, but what I will do here is I will counter the token creation here. And we're countering the Overlord trigger. And then I think we're going to counter Leyline Binding here. Sacrificing our Hexcatcher. And then hope to goodness we draw a land here. Unfortunate, I was gonna say so that we could play Oko, but it is what it is. Let's just develop our board with the schooner here. Attack for 3. Do what we can. Up the beanstalk. Such a great card. Just makes a lot of their other cards provide even more value. Okay. Drawing a land there is nice. We can crew the Tidebinder. Get an Explore trigger. I probably should have held on to that land, but I realized we don't have the green mana to catch Oko. And playing the Vinestalk there would have been great. So, a huge sequencing error from us, but we still have things that we can do by playing the Drowner or activating the Sanctuary. But I think we're going to use the Drowner on their Overlord here. So, unfortunate sequencing from us. That's my bad. Apologies, guys. Okay, this one's gonna turn into a creature and is what I'll use the Drowner on. Okay. So, Enduring Curiosity is nice there. We get to draw some cards. They're likely gonna play a token here to block. Oh, no. Okay. I'm kind of scared, actually. I didn't Curiosity there because I really want to keep up Piranhas. Because what they can do is they can play a Zur and animate their Overlord here. And if they're holding up a Leyline Binding, our Curiosity just folds. Next turn, we have access to Vivian Reed, so that's quite nice. Nothing we can do about this. They're going to make quite a bit of beasts here. And we're going to just play the Curiosity. Okay, so we're gonna play the Yavimaya Coast so we can play the Vivian Reed here. Let's destroy their Overlord. And then we don't have any good attacks here. We're gonna lose our Vivian Reed. Okay, we're gonna see if we can trade with one of their tokens here, and then if we double block the Overlord, no, they can blow us out with Leyline. So let's just look. The Vivian Reed is dying. Let's just manage their board by destroying a lot of their things here. The next turn we have Oko and Eaten by Piranhas.
This violence is getting out of hand.
Okay. So, Oko. We're gonna make an elk. It's gonna come in tap. And we're gonna play this. And let's pass a turn. Looks like they're going to sacrifice something here to draw. Okay, so we waited till they attack here so that we can make sure the Okro survives by casting Eaten by Piranhas. And what I'm going to do here is block the Overlord and Eaten by Piranhasing it. One thing we could have done is also make sure our Okro survives. But given that we have Authority of the Consuls here, Oko generating elves is just not very good. Okay, Hexcatcher. What can we do here? We can animate something with the Sanctuary, with the Vinestalk. I think Vinestalk might be good here. So let's go Vinestalk. Let's tap our Drowner here. And then let's attack. And then make that a 3-3, not that it matters right now. Eaten by Piranhas is great there. Happy to draw that. The Enduring Ferocity is going to make us draw a few things here. This is not a Merfolk, so we can't give it +1/+1. Okay, so we managed to deal with the board here, but we are far from winning. We still got a lot of work to do. Oh, drawing Oko is great there. The White Overlord is usually what can get them back into this game, or a Sunfall, obviously. Nothing we can do here. We can Hexcatcher to have them pay, but they have plenty of mana. And looks like they have a Demolition Field. So we'll play Hexcatcher here. Our opponent seems to have catered their Domain deck to include a lot of life gain with the Authority of Consuls and the White Sun's Twilight. I think that's pretty cool to see. Okay, so against these can kill us in 2 turns. Well, we're not going to be blocking, so let's play this. Let's make an elk. Use a schooner here. Attack for 3. Deshaun's Tidebinder. I don't think that's really going to help us here. But maybe it can deal with the Demolition Field trigger, so we're going to keep it. We'll play the Restless Vinestalk and end the turn. Here comes Up the Beanstalk. They can draw a card here. Okay, we're gonna use this to save our Oko. Nope, I forgot they have consoles. We can't save our Algo. Alright, so they're gonna go for another consoles here. I have to be very mindful of that we are at 4 poison. So we're gonna have to leave some blockers. And here comes an Overlord. We do have the Piranhas for that, but might be too little too late. Okay, let's think here. We gotta leave some blockers. If we Vine Stock, I don't think we'll quite get there. But Vine Stock is quite strong. Yeah, you just have to. Let's draw some cards. We'll attack here. We'll attack with the Hex Catcher and the Tidebinder. Gotta put pressure on their life somehow. And then we're gonna use the 3/3 trigger on the Hex Catcher here. This is 13 damage. Okay. Question is, do we counter this? I think we do, and we'll lose the Tidebinder for it. That's better than them using it on whatever they please. Okay, we're gonna use the Eaten by Piranhas here. Make sure we use this one. We're gonna trample over and draw a card. Three steps ahead is good here, but we don't have the mana to cast it. They have a fistful of cards. Okay, we're gonna go here. Okay, they're gonna get lost that. Oh, were they gonna use our... Oh, they cannot use it on an artifact. They should have waited until this was a creature, and they would have had lethal there. Okay, I don't think there's a way for us to come back from this, though. Here comes up the Beanstalk. Okay. If we attack with the Vine Stalk, we'll have 3 mana. Then they'll have Demolition Field. So we'll have 4 mana. I think we have to use this to draw 2 and discard a card. Yeah. Wait, let me see. Yeah, there's nothing we can do, because anything that we play here will be coming in tap. And unfortunately didn't get there, so let's go to game 2 here. That was a grindy first game. Very interesting technology from them to bring in the authority here. So we're going to bring in all of our enchantment removal with Pick Your Poison, Paw Patch Formation, and 3 Frill Backs. We're also going to bring in the River's Rebuke here. Against them, Flood Pits Drowners, I'm okay not using. Sentinel, I kind of like just to add some pressure. I like the top end here. Maybe just one curiosity. The eaten by piranhas. Okay. The boat might not be too good here, but it is quite good with the pilgrimage. So the options are remove sentinel or remove the boat. I'm actually gonna go without the enduring curiosities here, and I think I'll just lean more on our early game, and our late game will be our planeswalkers plus reverse rebuke. So let's take out the boat there. Okay, on the play here, this looks like a keepable hand. Just hoping to draw some land here. Here comes the Lush Portico. They get to surveil. They put away a land. Let's play a forest here and pass the turn. If they beanstalk, I think... looks like they don't have beanstalk. Then they'll likely have a removal spell here. Oh, they don't. Okay. Well, let's force it out of their hand by playing Deep-Root Pilgrimage here. And then we're gonna let this through so that we get map tokens. Now, we're just really hoping to draw some land here. This could be the Green Overlord. Looks like it's a Jace. This is new from what I've seen in these domain lists. Okay, since we are missing a land drop here, we are going to use Paw Patch Formation to draw a card. Looks like we got a Synod Scout here. Land, please. Okay, so we can get another land. What you call that? Explore trigger next turn. Yeah, this doesn't matter too much that they're minusing it, because we're still gonna be able to churn out tokens here. We're just looking for lands to play our powerful planeswalkers. So take action. Let's get a blue here. Okay, it looks like they're plotting something here. This is also new from what I see in domain decks. So if they play and they have 5 untapped lands, it comes as a 4/5. Okay, nothing we can really do about that. I mean, we can save Paw Patch Formation against that, but I think we are better off developing the board here. We have a second copy of Oko, so I'm okay losing this first one here. Okay, this will be Scout. This one will go to the Jace, and it's just here to make a token. It's not going to do any damage, though. And then hoping to draw a second green source here, so we can deal with this Dust Animus cleanly with Vivian Reed. I don't think this gets haste when it's plotted, right? I think only the Slick Shot has something like that. Okay, this is less scary than I thought. Okay, I was gonna use Oko there. Okay, so we're gonna cast Paw Patch Formation here, and then when we committed a crime, we only have to discard 1 card from using this. Okay, sounds good to me. And then plus here. Or do you want a minus? No, let's plus. Okay, they gotta get lost. discard a card. I think we're gonna discard the Scout here, even if it's our Merfolk. And then we have enough for 2 triggers here. Okay, maybe more. But that is the second green source. Oh, another land here. Do we just play the Vinestalk? No, I think we're gonna go for another Explorer trigger here. Hexcatcher, I think, is great. This can become an elf. And then these 2 will go against Jace. And this one, it doesn't matter what this one does, so let's keep it back. I was hoping to grow the Merfolk there into a 3 so we can deal with the Jace, but it is what it is. Here comes Sunfall. That's totally okay. We've got Vivian Reed to kill their incubation token. So let's make an elk. And then let's attack the Jace here. They're probably going to trade with their... they're going to chump block with their Llanowar Elves. Okay, and then now we'll just Vivian Reed. We're gonna get this. We're gonna play the Vinestalk. And then we'll have access to a Vinestalk next turn. Looks like we're able to take care of the Jace because they use the minus here. This could be something like the Overlord, but we've got stuff to deal with here. So I think what I'm actually gonna do is Reverse Rebuke here. Plus the Vivian Reed. Okay. Let's get the untapped land. This becomes a 3/3. We're gonna Reverse Rebuke here. We're going to use the map token. This becomes an elf, and we attack for 6. And if they recast the Overlord here, which they'll likely do, we can at least take care of it with Vivian Reed now. And they're left with 2 1s. Okay. Or we do something even better. 1, 2 plus green. We'll play this. And then we're only gonna do the 1 here to destroy artifact or enchantment. We're gonna plus here, keep our Vivian Reed. Here comes a forest. Land here. And then I'm gonna plus. Let's discard the Cavern of Souls here. And then have them sacrifice a creature with flying. And then we have enough to attack quite a bit here. And our Vivian Reed gets to survive. Our Planeswalkers get to survive. And that really is the key to a lot of these crazier matchups. They could very well just wipe the board again here. But we've got stuff to swing back for lethal. Here comes Jace. We can use Vidalian the Hexcatcher to possibly counter it. No. Let's let it through. We got more than enough cards in our library. And I can't think of a card that they could possibly have here to come back from this. They don't have enough white sources for Leyline. We can clear their blocker with Vivian Reed. We're playing a Hexcatcher, end of turn. Yeah. So, it looks like they took out their Authority of Consoles, which makes sense. Interesting that they've got a Jace the Perfected Blind here, so they're leaning more into the control aspect of Domain. And not necessarily the high pressure stuff here. So, is change the equation gonna be good here? I'm wondering. It might be. I think I'm actually gonna try that. So instead of Eaten by Piranhas, I'm gonna try 2 copies of Change the Equation here. And see how well that does. Game 3, let's get it. Ooh, unfortunate here. We didn't find a second land. So this is a mulligan. This looks better. We're gonna put back the expensive spell here. See what we can do early game. Okay, let's start with the Scout. Get an Explore trigger. Sentinel, I think, is fine here. Okay. We've got stuff to manage their things here. Got Change the Equation, Hexcatcher. They didn't cast the Beanstalk last time. Yeah, we're just gonna change the equation this instead of sacrificing our Hexcatcher. They're just trying to use their mana efficiently there. Probably gonna play an Overlord, maybe. Jace. We're okay with this. We're gonna spend next turn casting the Sentinel. So play the Botanical Sanctum. Start with a Sentinel here. Make a map token, and we'll pass the turn. Okay, here comes the Overlord. Oh, okay. So, great draw there. What can we do? We can play Oko, create an Elk, or we can use Pick Your Poison to have them sacrifice this, and then we attack Jace, play Hexcatcher. Because if we play the Oko, I think we actually lose it right away on the swing back. So I don't know if that would be good. Yeah, so let's use a Explore trigger here. Let's have them sacrifice a creature with flying. Oh, an enchantment, I mean. And then attack Jace. And unfortunately for them, we have a Hexcatcher. Okay, what can they do here? Oh, Elesh Thorn. Quite scary. Okay, so let's use the Explore trigger. Put it on. I think it has to be the Sentinel here, otherwise they can Okay. We're just gonna play Oko here. We're gonna develop the board, make an elk. Can't do anything, and I don't think we have any good attacks here, so let's pass. Hoping to draw River's Rebuke. We did put one at the bottom of our library earlier, so yikes. Looks like they got rid of Pop Patch Formation and 2 Vine Stalks there. We lose Oko, unfortunately. Okay, 3 steps ahead is nice here. We can copy something. But we still don't have any good attacks. We can definitely guarantee killing the Jace, though. They'll kill one of our 3/3s. No, they can create a token here. Oh, but I think it's worth it. Otherwise, the Jace is just gonna keep going, right? Alright. This might be a mistake, but let's see what we end up getting to do here. Oh, okay. Given this, I think I'm actually... Oh, no. I was gonna say we can copy the Hex Catcher and draw cards, and then the Hex Catcher will survive. But that leaves us at the mercy of whatever they're gonna cast next. And I'm kind of scared of what they can possibly have, so... We're gonna lose our Hex Catcher there, but we take care of their Jace. And then let's end the turn, keeping up 3 steps ahead. And really what we're trying to counter is anything that hasn't entered the battlefield effect, because Elesh Norn is going to make it obnoxious here. Like this, I don't mind. No problem. We'll take 4 here, use our life total as a resource. And, ooh, Pilgrimage is nice, but we don't have a way to really tap our stuff yet. Here comes Leyline Binding, and I think what we're going to do here is 3 steps ahead and draw 2 cards. Discarding Cavern of Souls. Tishana's Tidebinder doesn't really matter against them because they've got Elesh Norn. But yeah, we'll pass here, and we can double block the Elesh Norn if they attack. Okay. Let them use their removal. So we'll go Deep-Root Pilgrimage here. And then Tishana's Tidebinder, this doesn't really work, so we're just gonna play the Tidebinder now and get some Explore triggers on it. I don't think this is gonna be good enough. Alright. We do have some outs here, but yeah, if they play something like an Overlord, we are kind of screwed. Scout's not really what we're looking for here. So they have lethal here. I think we just have to take this. Yeah. And draw something like River's Rebuke? Ooh, I don't know, guys. Looks like it's gonna be a loss. This is a really cool domain version. I haven't seen it with Chase the Perfected Mine, but it is quite cool to see. Ooh, Frillback would have been great there. Oh, never mind. They have Elesh Norn. What am I talking about? Looking for Rebuke. Oh yeah, our opponent's really cooking something there. They got Conduit of Worlds, allowing them to cast stuff from their graveyard. And this doesn't look like it. I mean, we can create a 1/1 token here. Double block, block. Okay. Let's see if our opponent makes a mistake here. That's the only way we're really coming out of this. If they mill the Reverse Rebuke, that's it for us. Okay, got nothing but these to try. They probably have a removal spell here, destroying one of our Tidebinders. Oh! No way. We killed the Elesh Norn? Oh, but they can just play it. Alright, alright. They probably just should have attacked with their token there. Ooh, and that's not Reverse Rebuke, so let's give our opponent the good game here. That was a really fun game. Thank you, opponent, for the wonderful game. Really cool to see this domain list lean into a more controlling shell with some amazing cards here. But that's it. That's 4 rounds for today. Thank you so much. Let's go to the outro. Okay, guys, that was 4 games there. Really fun games. We did lose that last one to a really sweet domain control deck. Love seeing stuff like that. But been having a lot of fun here with Merfolk Midrange. You saw there that the midrange version of this Simic deck is a lot of fun to pilot, a lot of decisions to make, and anything that you can do to shore up your matchup knowledge will just help you in terms of navigating that. I really like the changes that we made here, adding Enduring Curiosity and Eaten by Piranhas. And I think the 24 lands still feels quite good, and I really like the sideboard changes here. And we've had some sweet stuff like a really cool Reverse Rebuke play. Looking at the stats, we ended up going from 71 and 53 to 74 and 54 with those matchups there. Really fun games. Absolutely love it. I'm going to keep playing this Merfolk list and really see what I can do in terms of tuning it for RCQ season. I am quite thankful to have some friends to play with in paper at the local game store to help shore up the actual mechanical dexterity you need to play a paper deck. But playing in Arena has really helped in just gaining matchup knowledge and learning some lines of plays and some tactical things that we can do. Really enjoy those games. I hope you did too. Please drop a like, a comment, and a subscription. It really helps growing channels like me. I've got a lot of stuff planned. I know we've been playing a lot of Merfolk, but I got other decks I'm brewing. I've got a lot of different kind of content that you might not be seeing out there. A lot of things to do with creating decks and how to attack and position your deck against a metagame, which is what I've been doing here with this Merfolk. So thank you so much. Have a great day.